Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well today. Today's conversation is going to be around pelvic health and womb wellness. So, this is a really important topic, and I have the lovely Afsha come along and talk about her experience, her knowledge, because she's going to be joining the day retreat for Black women and women of colour in Birmingham on the 14th of February. So let's have conversation and let's hope that it's going to work on Instagram. Okay, welcome Afsha.
Thank you. Thank
Are
you very
you
much, Emma.
are you all settled and you good? Are you okay? Amazing. Okay, so we will do our introduction again. So my name is Emma and I'm a yoga and meditation teacher and really focus on inclusive wellness, and I host day retreats and international retreats as well. And we're going to be talking about pelvic health and womb wellness. So I did actually go to Afsha's workshop I think it was in the summer, wasn't it, last year, or
Yeah.
the back end of the summer? And I had a really wonderful time, and I thought this would be something lovely to bring to the day retreats because, I just think it's just so important, and we don't really have the opportunity to look at this from a holistic perspective, but also the science, the hormones. There's just so much to it. So I'm really, really happy to have this conversation. Really am. So would you like to introduce
Thank you.
yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Afsha. I'm the founder of Bloom Body and Soul Academy. So I moved away from pharmacy, which is where I started my sort of career or my job
Mm,
many, many years ago. And I went into holistic health and
mm,
well-being and became a
mm,
specialist in pelvic health, and
mm,
then transitioned into womb wisdom and
mm,
understanding more about the womb cycle. So
mm,
yeah, I use those two, pelvic health and womb wisdom, these two aspects of the woman, to help her really connect back to her body, because a
mm,
lot of the issues that we see nowadays are to do with disconnection from our
mm,
body. So
mm,
yeah, that's what I do, and
mm,
I do sound healing as well. I do
mm,
tuning fork therapy, so
mm,
that's one to one. It's like your own personal sound bath,
mm,
and that
mm,
really helps to sort of harmonize the body. So these are the two
mm.
two things that I do at the moment.
Amazing. So I think a good place to start is, why is this important for everyone? So I would say women, but also why do we all need to learn more and understand our womb cycles, our pelvic health? And yeah, so let's just start there. Why do we need to know about this?
Well, if there's one thing that we can say is that everybody in this world has come to this world through a womb.
Mm-hmm.
So that was our first home.
Mm-hmm.
And the womb it's not just a physical organ, it's a cosmic organ. It's linked to a different realm as well.
Mm,
So a spiritual
mm,
realm, an energetic realm, the realm of
mm,
the divine. So
mm,
when we're working on the womb, we're not just working on the physical aspect of ourselves, we're working on the other subtle body, the emotional
mm,
body, the energetic body, the
mm,
spiritual body.
mm,
So it's an all round connection back to self, and
mm,
it's so important because we're so disconnected. So it wasn't that long ago that women were more in tune with their womb health, because maybe a couple of 100 years ago, even, women were not in the workforce. They were
mhm,
not pressurized to have to earn. There were other challenges, but
mhm,
because of the ability to be more in tune with the cycle, like to accommodate your cycle according to the
mhm,
work that you're doing, they
mm,
were a little
mm,
bit more in tune. However, now we override our cycle completely. We have to get a deadline. We have to, go to work. We have to go out in the evening to socialize. There's so many pressures on us that we would override our cycle first instead of changing the way that we're living, because it's very hard to change the way that we're living. We earn and we survive in this world, in the modern society, but we're very disconnected. And what we're seeing now is absolutely abnormal and skyrocketing problems that are related to the womb, from things like incontinence, menstrual problems, endo, from PCOS. All these diseases were really almost non-existent, really non-existent for most of humanity, only up into the modern age. So we've got to make a reconnection back.
So thank you for all of that. It was amazing. Can I just check on the sound? So for those of you who are listening, can you just check that? So I'm just getting a tiny bit of like feedback, just a tiny bit when you're speaking. I don't know, or is it? Yeah, I just getting a tiny bit of feedback. Could you just speak for me?
Yeah. So I guess the
That's
most important.
actually, yeah.
Is that better?
Do you have a
No,
mic? Are you on your computer or phone? What are you on?
I'm on my phone, so it's usually never a problem on the phone. I wonder if it's because my computer is on in the background. Would that be causing it? Let me see
I'm not sure.
if
It
I
it
just
sort
get.
of cuts in and out. I don't know. Is
I
is
shut down my computer. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how these things work.
yeah, I'm not really that technical either, but we
Um,
will it's not that bad. It was just a little bit. It could be my phone as well, because mine sometimes I've been having some issues with my phone as well. But if you are watching, so Kana says I can hear fine. Okay, that's
okay,
brilliant.
that's
So
good.
it
I've
might
I've brought
be
it
my
closer
phone.
as well. I've brought it closer.
Yeah, it could be, who knows what it is. But yeah, thank you. You know, you've just said so much in that beginning of like why it's important. I would maybe just like to come back to a few things you said. So a really interesting thing about the area of the womb is not just a physical area. Now, could you maybe just talk a little bit more about that, and where these ideas of like this is a portal of the divine, and some other things, and like where that sort of wisdom, where does that come from? Maybe elaborate, because that could be new for some people watching.
Absolutely. So it's actually quite well established that this organ is more than just physical. I suppose um, the oldest resources are shamanic work. So the shamans were very connected to the earth, and obviously before modern science, the way that we understood the body was through observation. Deep, deep observation. We cannot get to that place anymore because we might meditate for 5 or 10 minutes. There's very few people in the world that can do any more than that. But
Yeah.
in order to really understand the body, you have to go inwards. You have to observe patterns like you do in nature. We don't do that anymore. Our belief system has changed. We go towards a scientific approach, which is very different. So in the past, this the knowledge of the body was through deeper meditation, through deep observation, and it's a very well known fact that the womb is a portal. If you think about it physically, even the womb is where a soul is placed into a body. That's quite mind blowing in itself. You
Mhm.
know, a
Mhm.
lot of this information comes also from Chinese medical system.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the Eastern Asian medical systems, TCM, Chinese
Mhm.
medicine, and also Ayurveda
Mhm.
honor this part of a woman's body a lot. So there's a lot
Mhm.
more information available
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
those sources.
Mhm.
In for myself, an Islamic source
Mhm.
is a narration about the connection of the womb to God, to Allah. We
Mhm.
call him Allah,
Mhm.
so to the
Mhm.
divine,
Mhm.
where the womb
Mhm.
is having a conversation with the divine, and
Mhm.
talking about um, her fears of being severed from
Mhm.
humanity. And
Mhm.
this is a very interesting conversation, this narration. It's a cosmic,
Mhm.
it's a cosmic
Mhm.
consciousness.
Mhm.
And so this again sort of confirms or
Mhm.
reinforces the the knowledge that the womb is a conscious part of our body, like in fact
Mhm.
all of our organs are.
Mhm.
But the womb has a
Mhm.
very special relationship with the divine because it is
Mhm.
made of the same name as the divine, which means
Mhm.
mercy in Arabic.
Mhm. Wow.
So it is the manifestation of mercy in this physical realm.
Mhm.
So these are
Mhm.
some sources that we get all of this
Mhm.
information from.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you don't actually need any of these sources. All you have to do is spend some time connecting with your womb.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
over time, your womb will connect back with you,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you will start to understand your body
Mhm.
in your own way. That this will
Yeah.
come to you personally,
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
right? So it's always available to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for for some of us, this this idea of a communication of the part of our body is communicating to us, it can feel a little bit abstract if you're not necessarily deeply spiritual or anything. Well, what is I'm listening, what am I hearing? But I would say that if you have a lot of womb issues, like many of us have, your body is communicating to you and it's saying there is something wrong. So for myself, who was diagnosed endometriosis, fibroids, PCOS, there was an imbalance within my life. And the communication with me was something is wrong, something is deeply wrong. And it's going to manifest as an imbalance, as pain. For many women, this is sadly how we're going to know that there's a communication. Pain is telling you something. It's telling you actually you need to figure out what's going on. So that's kind of, I absolutely love how you've explained the different shamanic and the Islamic teachings as well. That's just absolutely beautiful. And I think also for people who maybe are just completely new to this, let's just bring it down. How are you actually genuinely feeling? Do you have energy? Do you feel creative? Do you feel, do you, do you actually hate your body? Sadly,
Absolutely. Yeah.
this is a thing for, every single woman to be taught to hate your body. It's not good enough. It's too big. It's too slim. It's, so many different messages. And that's the disconnection where you actually look at yourself in the mirror and you don't like how you look. That's a deep um that's a real problem that
Yeah,
we can all completely empathize and understand with, can't we? Because that
absolutely.
hate is that hatred towards yourself, and that hatred, it's going to mean that you don't treat yourself in a good way.
You
You're
could
not treating yourself as somebody you love, you're going to be kind words. If you
you
hate
could
yourself, we don't do that.
absolutely. You could actually say, I mean, and then that is how the body communicates with you through
Mm,
symptoms. So you know, it doesn't have to be cosmic or spiritual if a person isn't that way inclined or has never looked into it. It's very physical because we are physical beings, and that's how we experience this world. But symptoms are the body's language to express to us. And you could say that a lot of women issues, and it's very difficult to bring this up to women at the time when they are suffering, because it is a suffering, it's a pain, it's, you don't understand why it's happening. But imagine if your deepest belief is that you're not good enough, or that you are not happy being a woman, and this belief can even be in someone who looks very feminine, but deep down she actually hates her femininity. Now, our beliefs are very strong but hidden often, and we can pretend, we can maintain a facade to others and to ourselves. Now, the thing with the womb is that the womb is a place of truth. And so it does not like this disparity. So it shows in whatever way it's going to show. And you could say that, imagine if you, imagine that your womb does not feel safe in the body that it is, because it knows that you don't love it. That you're not grateful for it, that you're not, you know, in awe of your body. And none of us are, because we have been programmed from a young age not to be. We have been programmed that our body is faulty. You know, so everybody's in this kind of way of thinking, and this manifests in different ways. But for women, a lot of women, it will manifest in womb symptoms.
And I think it's also important to say that it's not your fault, because I think when you, for me personally, you know, when you read about these are the reasons why you may have these conditions, you feel like, I've done everything wrong, I should have done this, I should have done that, but actually it's society's expectations and inequality that has created these issues where, you know, women are deemed as less than, and then we take on the different elements of colonization, of racism. There has been a systematic, what we think is not necessarily come from us, it's come from other sources, brought to put us down, to not allow us to be our full selves, to be subordinate, and there's many different things. So I think it's important that if you do have these health womb issues, you don't blame yourself and think, I've done everything wrong, or I could have done more, and that blame and shame, it doesn't help at all.
No, the shame is actually what is the root cause and can be the root cause of many issues. And absolutely, it's not to do with blame at all. But we have to acknowledge that where we are programmed into a way of thinking. And the only way to come out of that is to take radical responsibility. So, for example, you said that, you know, you were looking at an imbalance in your life. The only way that you know that is through the symptoms, first of all, then through changing your aspects of your life, whatever you can, that makes a difference. And then deeper still, once you get a grip of the physical, starting to do some inner work into your belief systems that you've been programmed in, and that we also choose to keep. A lot of, you know, if we don't accept that we're part of this process, then we can never come out of it, because part of it is our being sovereign humans with free will and choice. So once we learn how to feel comfortable in that, that's when big changes happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
then you
it's
can
all,
decide. You can
yeah,
decide to change,
absolutely.
and we can hopefully do this with support of others, because it's
Yes,
very difficult. Let's be real. It's not an easy, okay, today I'm going to decide to, no. That's why it's really lovely that you offer this type of work for women, because you need somebody to help you on that journey and
absolutely.
support you, because it is difficult, and different things will arise that you maybe have chose not to deal with.
Yes,
And I was just reading on like traditional Chinese medicine that this sort of space, this area in the body, it stores things that we're not ready to deal with.
yeah,
And that's probably, that was really interesting for me to read that, because it's like you're storing, you need to process things, and it's working to a degree. We can store some things for later, like, oh, we're busy, and we store it. We can't deal with everything right away, but it's actually, maybe you've stored so much, it's like now it's becoming an issue. So having to deal with different things. Um,
your
so what?
body, your body won't let you process it
Mhm.
until it's ready rather than you.
Yeah,
That's why
that's true.
forcing these things is actually very, I would say, harmful. So a lot of
Hmm.
these, like you might see classes where there are lots of people and they're doing lots of breath work and shaking and crying, and
Hmm. Hmm.
these are actually very dangerous because you're forcing
Hmm.
this things to come up when your body might not be ready. You're in an ego state.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
when your body is ready, it
Hmm.
will be released because your body is compassionate and
Yeah.
merciful.
Yeah.
It will not let you deal with anything that you can't.
I'm not
And
ready
usually,
to
and
deal
not
with, and
ready, yeah.
that's why it all store it,
Yeah, but
and
that's why
then you're not quite
symptoms,
ready, and then it manifests, and you're like,
yeah.
oh no.
But the
But now,
symptoms that manifest are your body's communication to say,
hmm,
you're safe enough now.
yeah,
You
yeah,
need to spend a bit of time on
hmm,
you. You
yeah,
you're at a stage where you can do this. And so
hmm,
then we tiptoe into it in any way
hmm,
that we can. We
mm,
try
mm,
and
mm,
honor the journey.
yeah. And how did you get into this work? How did this sort of passion develop?
Well, I would say divine intervention
Mm,
because if you think about it, I was trained in the mainstream system. You
hmm,
know, I was educated in the
hmm,
mainstream system. I
hmm,
became a pharmacist. Pharmacist is very
hmm,
left brain, logical,
hmm,
scientific.
hmm,
So, that was my programming.
mm,
And it was only through my own experiences of bouts of depression
hmm,
through,
hmm,
I've suffered a lot of trauma in my
hmm,
childhood. But
mm, mm,
as I was getting older, having the kids, I realized I was suffering bouts of depression, and I
mhm,
eventually became um, really fit. And I
mhm, mhm,
realized, oh wow, this is having such an amazing effect on my body. So
mhm,
that's when I started to look into
mhm,
how movement and exercise affects
mhm,
you physiologically and like
mhm,
mentally.
mhm,
And I
mhm,
realized that this is what I want to do actually. I
mhm,
want to be a
mhm,
personal trainer. I want to help
mhm.
people move because
Yeah.
this is medicine. So once I got into that world
Mhm,
and I think it's maybe I'm an Aquarius and
mhm,
we love like going deep. We're,
mhm,
very, very like deep
mhm,
philosophical.
mhm.
So I
Yeah.
started learning more about the holistic world and doing different
Mhm,
courses and obviously healing my own childhood
mhm,
complex trauma.
mhm,
I was always seeking peace in my body. So I
mhm,
did everything. Like I
mhm,
literally did everything.
mhm,
Um, I've done all breath practices,
mhm,
like somatic dance work and, all sorts of therapies.
mhm, mhm,
And through that and also through various different qualifications
mhm,
and
mhm,
learning, I eventually came to the womb.
Mm,
And it
mm,
was through an illness that happened.
mm,
It was nothing to do with my womb, but it was
mm,
through a long 2-year illness through
mm,
menopause almost,
mm,
that I think I was just led to this part of my body,
mm,
and
mm, mm,
it was just calling to me that you have to deal with,
mm, mhm,
deeper issues that are
mm,
related to your birth, to your
mhm, mhm,
ancestral healing,
mm,
and
mm,
that's a lot of womb work.
mm, mm, mm,
And obviously before that, I already was interested in pelvic health. So I
mm,
was always down in that area.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah,
mm,
and
mm,
it just got a bit deeper into the
mm,
womb work.
mm, mm. Yeah, thank you so much. That's, I'm sure parts of your story will resonate with others, on, you know, trying things out, because that's what we have to do. If there is things to heal, one thing that works for you might not work for me, vice
Yes.
versa. And it's all about learning and having somebody who's maybe been through similar
Yes.
things as well, and so, well, I've been on this journey and this is what I found, and having that guide with you. So just to come to our sort of final, oh, if there's anybody watching and they have any comments, or they, please do comment below and we'll try to talk with you on the live, or maybe it's on the replay, we'll answer your questions. Um, so we are going to be doing the day retreat on the 14th of February in Birmingham. And you're going to be doing a Love Your Cycle workshop. So could you talk a little bit more about what people can expect from that workshop?
Yeah, so we'll be exploring our menstrual cycle in the form of seasons.
Mm-hmm,
So the menstrual cycle has 4 weeks to it.
mm-hmm,
Each week is like a season of the earth. So the
mm-hmm,
womb is like the earth as well,
mm-hmm,
or you could say the earth is like the womb.
mm-hmm,
So it goes through this fourfold cycle every
mm-hmm,
month, just like the earth will go through it every year.
mm-hmm,
And these 4 phases, we'll explore the hormonal aspects and the
mm-hmm,
energetic aspects of these
mm-hmm,
4 phases, what it
mm-hmm,
means physiologically, like what's
mm-hmm,
happening to your body, but
mm-hmm,
also how does that affect your energy? How does it
mm-hmm,
affect your mood?
mm-hmm,
How does it affect your feelings and your responses to the world around
mm-hmm,
you?
mm-hmm,
And how sometimes imbalances can cause us to kind of experience symptoms like PMS,
mm-hmm,
or more severe PMS,
mm-hmm,
PMDD,
mm-hmm,
um, or for example, very heavy periods,
mm-hmm,
cramps.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And it's usually, part of it will be a disconnection to those 4 phases and
mm-hmm,
not being in
mm-hmm,
synchronicity
mm-hmm,
with the
mm-hmm,
4 phases. So learning how we can flow better, not
mm-hmm,
just
mm-hmm.
flow better, not just bleed better, but flow better
Mhm, mhm,
using our
mhm,
cycle as
mhm,
our sort of our timekeeper,
mhm,
rather
mhm,
than the linear 9 to 5, 24-hour
mhm,
cycle that's been
mhm.
imposed on us,
Yeah.
because that's the masculine, that's the male cycle.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
it's for productivity and
mhm.
capitalism, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's for that. It's not to honor our bodies. So
Mhm,
how can we bring ourselves back? How can
mhm,
we connect a bit deeper?
mhm,
And what does it all mean with regards to energy and mood and
mhm, mhm.
vitality?
Yeah.
And what can we do better to support ourselves?
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Yeah. It's so, as I said at the beginning, I come to the workshop that you did, and I found it really, it's just a brilliant opportunity to actually pause and think about, okay, what can I do for myself throughout the month? What can I think about eating? What's my mood like? What sort of work I'm going to be doing? What sort of activities? And also, I thought it was really nice because it reminds me personally, okay, this is the time of the month and I'm going to pause, and I'm not going to feel guilty. I'm gonna, I'm self-employed, so I'm actually gonna take it easy. I'm gonna I'm having lots of naps, and this is good. This is good for me. So it really removes the shame that, oh, you think, okay, why am I feeling so tearful? Why am I why am I so emotional? Or noticing I was so enthusiastic about that project 2 weeks ago, and
Yeah.
now I don't want to do it. I absolutely dread that, but that's, and figuring out, oh, that's normal.
Yeah.
We should review things that, certain things are good at certain times of the
Yeah.
month. Other times, let's just leave that for a few days, and it'll be so much easier, and not push through and think, I've got to get this done. And you're just like, this is not working. So yeah, it's giving yourself the grace